It was a sunny day when a woman was enjoying a cup of ice cream. Across from her sat a little girl, watching her closely. As soon as the woman took a bite, the girl copied her, giggling like it was a game. They shared a moment that almost looked sweet, but then the woman's expression changed completely. She slowly lowered her spoon, and her smile turned twisted, like she was enjoying a cruel joke only she understood. Wiping a smudge of blood off her fancy wristwatch, she casually strolled over to the little girl, and with no warning at all, slapped the girl's ice cream to the ground. Just like that. This woman wasn't your average ice cream lover. Her name was Bella, and she was a high-level assassin, the kind who handled multiple kills per day like it was part of a morning routine. She had short fuse, no filter, and did whatever she pleased. If she saw an old man inching down the stairs too slow, she'd shout insults like she was the stair police. She didn't care about anyone's feelings. At home, she wasn't any calmer. Instead of relaxing, she'd smear her face with thick makeup until she looked like a mannequin in a horror movie. Then, she'd casually dump poison onto her kitchen table like it was salt. With a liquor bottle in hand, she threw herself onto the couch, striking a dramatic pose like she was staging her own tragic ending. It was all an act, though, just part of her messed-up daily routine. Not long after, her boss walked in and was startled by the whole scene. He looked at her lying there, completely unbothered, and asked if she was trying to scare him to death. Bella just grinned and took the mission he offered her. No hesitation. The target? Another name on a list. She dug into the guy's background in no time. Where he lived, what he looked like, the whole deal. Then she hopped on her motorcycle and hit the road like a storm. This time, Bella had decided to spice things up. She wouldn't use any guns. Nope. Her weapon of choice? A poisonous hairpin tucked in her hair. Silent, sneaky, and deadly. When she got to the guy's mansion, she found a moment when the gate security guard was distracted and zipped past him. Climbing up a drain pipe like it was nothing, she slipped inside the house, but it was empty. She peeked outside and spotted the target partying in the backyard with his rich friends. She smirked. To her, he might as well have been an ATM wearing a suit. She crept into the bedroom, opened a closet, and started searching for something fancy to wear. But just as she was flipping through the clothes, she heard footsteps. One of the guards was doing a patrol. He noticed the closet door was open when it had been closed earlier and started inspecting. What he didn't realize was that Bella had tucked herself into a large suitcase. He looked around for a while, but gave up, thinking he was just being paranoid. Once he left, Bella changed outfits, fixed her hair, and walked straight into the party, blending in like she belonged there. She was just about to make her move when she saw something that made her pause. The target was yelling at his young grandson. The kid, clearly upset, stormed off back into the house. Bella watched quietly, hatching a new plan in her head. Instead of charging in recklessly, she followed the boy and managed to convince him to call his grandfather upstairs. As soon as the old man walked into the room, Bella locked the kid in the bathroom. The target, distracted by Bella's stunning looks, forgot all about his grandson. Bella sweet-talked him, closed the door, and when the time was right, pulled the poisoned hairpin from her hair. She jabbed it straight into his eye, injected the poison, and just like that, mission accomplished. He dropped dead before he could even scream. Later, she returned to her apartment, only to have her boss burst in with bad news.
She is currently in London, where she will be interviewed as a principal witness to the murder. Very bad.
Turns out, one of her earlier targets hadn't died like they thought. The guy was hanging on by a thread in a hospital. Worse, he'd seen Bella's face. That meant she had to finish the job before the guy could open his mouth to the cops.
It will take place tomorrow.
They won't catch me.
Meanwhile, a detective named Molly had already reached the hospital, hoping to get a statement from the victim.
Security team monitoring Kasia Makovska.
But the doctors said he was still unconscious. While waiting, Molly went to the restroom to fix herself up. She had no idea the assassin was in the same building.
Oh, no, I know. This is a relative of...
Bella also didn't realize Molly was a cop. When they crossed paths in the hallway, Bella even joked around,
Wear it down.
throwing out a sarcastic remark. By the time Molly returned to the patient's room, everyone in there was dead, nurses, guards, and the man they were trying to save.
My God, somebody help me!
She was too late. Bella, back at her place, was already prepping for her next job. She had built a strange reputation. One minute she'd act all innocent, like a sweet little doll, and the next, she was tearing through people like a storm. Her approach to killing was like a game.
I have a family, please tell me what.
She liked to mess with her targets first, push them to their breaking point, and watch them squirm before striking. Even when she had a gun, she wouldn't fire it right away. She'd tease, taunt, and play cat and mouse. And if she got bored, she'd just sit down mid-mission, take a breather, and daydream about what to eat later that night. One day, she ran in her boyfriend downstairs, digging through trash cans like a raccoon. He claimed he'd tossed something important by accident and was trying to find it. But Bella wasn't buying it. His clothes and gear gave away that he was up to something shady.
J'ai pas vu la télécommande.
She didn't bother arguing. She had bigger things to do, like killing her next target. This mission was tricky, no way to smuggle in a gun. So she whipped up a bottle of poisoned perfume, disguised herself as a waitress, and snuck into a swanky banquet. She served drinks while keeping an eye on her target, a businesswoman who looked important. When the woman eventually headed to the restroom, Bella followed.
Héroïne de notre temps.
A butler tried to stop her, saying staff weren't allowed in the VIP area, but Bella spun a lie about delivering medicine and was let through. Inside the restroom, Bella struck up a fake sales pitch, showing off the perfume. The woman, always on the lookout for investment opportunities, agreed to try it. She sprayed it on her wrist, sniffed it, and Bella took a step back, hiding a smirk.
Dans un nuage de parfum.
Moi non plus.
Within seconds, the woman began to feel dizzy and struggled to breathe. She gasped for help, but Bella just stood there, enjoying every second of it. As the woman collapsed, only then did she realize she'd been poisoned.
Bye-bye.
Bella leaned in and mocked her before walking away. Back home, things didn't calm down. Her boss slammed her into a wall, furious that she'd gone overboard at the hospital.
You disobeyed me.
You lied to me.
That hit job was supposed to look like a suicide, not a massacre. But before they could finish the argument, Bella's boyfriend showed up uninvited. Thinking fast, she told him the boss was her brother.
He has a condition.
I'm Sebastian.
The boyfriend shook his hand like a fool, totally unaware of what was going on. Later, he found the unused poisoned perfume in the trash and took it with him, thinking it was a waste to throw it out. A few minutes later, there was a loud thud outside. Bella and her boss opened the door, and there he was dead on the floor. The perfume had done its job. Bella barely flinched. Good riddance, she muttered. She had never really cared about men anyway. After that, the boss warned Bella that Detective Molly was digging into her. That night, Bella looked up Molly online and instantly recognized her as the woman from the hospital bathroom. Bella decided to handle her during her next mission, quietly, without letting her boss know. The new job led her to a creepy clinic that offered bizarre services catering to certain weird fetishes.
I am sorry. I had to.
Take off your clothes.
One guy, a regular customer, had no clue that his doctor today was actually Bella in disguise. What he also didn't know was that she had a thing for making sure perverts never came back.
That last time you received a vigorous scrotal.
As he lay there grinning like an idiot, Bella tightened the gas valve until he choked to death. She even turned his head toward her so she could watch the light leave his eyes. Not long after, Molly and her detective partner showed up to investigate. They even brought their stuff to the clinic so they could stay close to the scene. Bella, watching from nearby, saw everything. Molly got a call and stepped away, but when she came back, her suitcase was gone. Yep, Bella had swiped it. Rummaging through the clothes, Bella gagged at how awful the outfits were. Still, she took a liking to a green silk scarf and wore it. Meanwhile, Molly was stuck buying new clothes, and after lots of trying on, she noticed something felt strange. She reached for a belt nearby,
Thank you. Okay, bye.
not knowing Bella had planted a bug in it. Through the device, Bella heard Molly talking about taking the subway to meet someone. Bella followed and managed to get on the same train. But things didn't go as planned. Molly's partner spotted Bella wearing that same green scarf and stopped her. Bella claimed she'd bought it at a shady market nearby and slipped away before he could question her more. But Bella knew now she was being followed, so she led him to a crowded nightclub. As the music pounded, Bella turned with her signature evil grin. The man realized too late that he'd walked right into her trap. Later, Molly showed up and found her partner's body. She broke down, crying for days. Then out of nowhere, her missing suitcase showed up again. Inside were new clothes, an expensive perfume bottle, and a note from Bella. The message? Bella had caught feelings for Molly. Her boss wasn't happy. Killing a cop without clearance was a big no-no. Bella had crossed the line, and as punishment, he stripped away her freedom to work alone. But Bella? She didn't seem to care. She just smiled. So, Bella had just wrapped up one job when her boss slid a new assignment her way. No time to breathe. She was headed off to the UK with a couple of teammates to take out a government official. As soon as she got off the train, a guy rolled up in a car. He was the team lead for this mission. Bella hopped in, only to catch a glimpse of the passenger up front. And guess what? It was Andy. Yeah, that Andy. Her ex. The same one she had broken things off with not so gently back in the day. They locked eyes in the rearview mirror, and it was awkward as hell. But things didn't stay quiet for long. They were soon shouting and clawing at each other in the car like two alley cats. Clearly, there was some unfinished business between them. The team leader, clueless about their past, had to physically pull them apart to keep the mission from derailing before it even started. Oh, and fun fact, he was now dating Andy. That made things so much more complicated. Anyway, the three of them finally made it to the official's house. Their plan? Split up to cover more ground. The team lead went around to cover the back door, just in case the guy tried to bolt, while Bella and Andy knocked on the front. The door creaked open, and an older woman stood there looking confused but not surprised. Two women looking for her son? She probably thought he was fooling around again. Still, she welcomed them in, offered snacks and drinks, and even called her son to come home. Didn't take long before the official came walking in. But he wasn't stupid. He sensed the tension and danger right away. Without saying a word, he spun around and dashed out the door. The trio jumped back in their car and took off after him. When they finally caught up, Bella was ready to leap out and grab the guy, but the team leader slammed on the brakes and barked, "I give the orders here." That pushed Bella right over the edge. She was as close to losing it. Honestly, she had half a mind to shoot him right then and there, but she held it together. Barely. The captain went over to the suspect's car, but it was empty. Turns out, the official had ducked into the bushes nearby. While the team stood there arguing and pointing fingers, the guy was right under their noses. They started blaming each other. One even brought up Bella's past screw-up involving another agent named Frank, saying she'd shot him in the head. Then the team leader accidentally overheard something interesting. Andy and Bella had been a thing before. That threw him off. Bella took the chance to talk to Andy alone and explained why she had ended things, said she didn't really want to, but she had no other choice. Then, with this weird mix of affection and urgency, Bella told her they could still be together if she dumped the captain. She even hugged her and made it sound like they could run off somewhere fancy. But while Andy was distracted, trying to stow a gun in the trunk, Bella flashed this sly, twisted grin. The car suddenly refused to start. And wouldn't you know it, the official, who'd been hiding in those same bushes all this time, made a break for it. Bella spotted him and bolted after him. She couldn't believe she'd let him slip past her. For a trained assassin, that was embarrassing. She ditched her gear and went sprinting down the road, chasing him for kilometers. Just when she was gaining on him, Molly, the backup, showed up and swept him away in a getaway car. Bella chased them, but they managed to stay ahead. Then something weird happened. Molly stopped the car in the middle of the road. She had the suspicion that Bella might be into her or something and decided to test it out, risking her life in the process. She slowly walked toward Bella. Bella didn't pull the trigger, but what she did next was totally unexpected. She turned the gun on herself. Fortunately, she didn't pull it. Later on, Molly managed to get the official to a super secure location, with more than a dozen guards watching over him. Every window was locked up tight, reinforced, and sealed. That night, Molly went home, still shaken by what had happened, but also kind of affected by Bella's emotional meltdown. She pulled out the fancy clothes Bella had given her, dressed up, poured herself glass after glass of champagne, and started digging through Bella's files. Then she heard footsteps. Someone was outside. Bella's voice rang out, half threatening, half playful. She shouted that she didn't want to hurt Molly, just wanted to have dinner. Molly, being cautious, slipped a knife into her waistband. Bella, trying to make her feel a bit safer, said she could lay the knife out on the table. They sat down, tried to talk like old friends, but that didn't last long. Suddenly, Bella lunged at her. Molly grabbed the knife to defend herself, but Bella was too quick. She snatched it away and pressed it to Molly's throat. Then she took Molly's phone and demanded the unlock code. Only after saying thanks and walking out did it become clear. Bella had used Molly's phone to get the safe house's location. Later that night, the official was brushing his teeth, thinking everything was fine. But by the time Molly and her team arrived, it was too late. He was already dead, tortured and laid out like some horror movie victim. The next morning, Bella was back home, frying hot dogs like nothing had happened. Her boss came over, curious about how everyone else on the mission had mysteriously died. Bella made up some lame excuse, but the boss wasn't buying it, especially since Andy hadn't been crushed by the car like Bella claimed. In reality, she'd been locked away, alive but dangerous, and the higher-ups were afraid she might talk. So they gave Bella a new mission: go into the prison and take care of Andy. Bella marched into the prison and immediately slapped a guard across the face. The other guards didn't hesitate to retaliate. They beat her until she could barely stand. As punishment, she got assigned to sewage cleanup duty. Gross, but Bella made the most of it. She got friendly with a violent inmate and asked her to rough her up during yard time. Why? So she could get sent to the infirmary. The doctor there? He was secretly working with Bella. He gave her a tiny knife and told her where to find Andy's cell. Later, during lunch, Bella started getting closer to Andy, hiding the knife in her sleeve. One inmate tried to mess with her, but Bella warned her not to interfere. When Bella finally got her food, Andy saw her and immediately panicked. She knew exactly why Bella was there. The whole cafeteria felt tense. Bella was about to strike, but the inmate distracted her and ended up taking the knife. While a guard tried to calm things down, Bella slipped behind him and stabbed him to death. She grabbed his keys and made a run for it while chaos broke out. Eventually, a guard saw blood seeping out from Andy's cell and rushed over. After that, Bella and the inmate were sent to court. But it turned out the inmate was actually another undercover agent planted by Bella's organization. Bella was taken to an unfinished building where a bald man, apparently her new boss, was waiting. He handed her another mission. This time, she had to kill her old boss. The twist? This new guy was even more annoying than the last one, rambling on forever. Bella was clearly over it. She tracked down her old boss and, out of respect, offered him the chance to off himself. He understood there was no way out of an assassination order from the organization. He drank poison, but still managed to sucker punch Bella and make a run for it. She chased him, but by the time she got outside, he was speeding away on a boat, flipping her the bird as he disappeared. At least she still had his daughter. Bella had kidnapped her and was now using her as leverage. The kid kept whining, so Bella shoved a burger in her hand to keep her quiet. They reached the next rendezvous point. The boss showed up fast, desperate to save his daughter. Molly was with him too, since she was offering him protection from the organization. Seeing Bella with a gun to the girl's head, they handed over a passport and some cash. But Bella wasn't just after documents. She wanted to finish the job. She turned to leave, but when she got home, she found Molly waiting for her. Things turned weirdly emotional. They confessed lingering feelings for each other, but right when it felt genuine, Molly pulled out a knife and stabbed Bella in the stomach. Bella looked shocked, told her not to pull it out, but Molly did anyway. She panicked and went looking for something to stop the bleeding. Bella managed to roll off the bed, grab her gun, and fire. Molly freaked and ran. By the time things quieted down, Bella had already slipped away. Molly ran outside and only saw a neighbor standing there. She followed the trail of blood down the stairs, but then ran into some shady-looking strangers and quickly ran back up. Meanwhile, Bella was limping down the road, desperate to find help. No cars would stop. She was bleeding, fading fast. A young boy who had just been in an accident was nearby. They talked, and she kind of adopted him as her new sidekick. She needed to get out of the hospital ASAP, so she asked the kid to swipe some clothes. Bella changed into a stolen doctor's outfit and blended in. She grabbed some medicine and snuck out again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. I love hearing from you. See you in the next video.